Greetings, cyberdogs and citizens of the internet. This is RENDOG coming at you from the Bay of Silkworm Gang Island in this Let's Play Minecraft survival series. In the previous episode, we were finishing off the Silkworm Gang village as well as recruiting some members for the gang from Mole City. And in this episode, my friends, we are heading deep into the butthole of Silkworm Gang Island, back to the abandoned mine shaft so that we can collect the final bit of plankage that we require to finish off this project once and for all. Well, I hope you got a freaking tasty ass beverage. I got a cup of tea. And I hope you got some crunchy ass snacks. Let's play some Minecraft survival. Well guys, as we head off on this adventure, there is something that we need to talk about. And all I gotta say is that over the last 24 hours or so, OCD has been kicking in like nobody's business. Damn! Man, I got so much OCD, I don't know what to do with myself. But basically, towards the end of the last episode, when we went back to the mole hole, I collected a whole bunch of doors that I wanted to use in Silkworm Gang Village. And I made up some rubbish excuse that the health and safety of the Silkworm Gang Islanders was protected by the Mole City Council, and that's why we could use the doors. And that is a load of freaking baloney. The rules of Silkworm Gang Island state that we can only use jazz that we have found on the island to build the island. And those are the rules, man. And tons of you cyberdogs wrote me some emails, you sent me some messages on dogcraft.net, and you guys were not freaking happy. You guys were like, RENDOG, you're breaking the rules up in here, man. Those are not the rules of Silkworm Gang Island. You cannot use those doors. And the more that I thought about it, the more that OCD started kicking in, and the more that I had to agree with you guys, man. And as much as I didn't want to go back to the mine shaft, because we've only got another 3 episodes or so left in Season 3, it's going to have to be done. We're going to have to head back to the mine shaft, and we're going to have to freaking mine some plankage. Luckily, I've got a staircase down here that actually goes straight down into the mine shaft, and we already have a freaking leprechaun up in our face, but he was easily dispatched. And this little staircase goes all the way down to this abandoned mine shaft, and this is a section of the last abandoned mine shaft that we were pillaging that I haven't mined out yet. And as you can see, there's still quite a lot of plankage and stuff here for us to collect. So we're pretty much going to be able to get everything we need to finish off Silkworm Gang Island. And I know that's what I said last time, but this time I mean it, because there's not that much left to do. I mean, basically what I want to be doing, there's a freaking enderbud over there. There's a chest over here, though, that I wanted to open with you guys. So, dear Lord, please give me something freaking sweet. Kablam! Kablam! Ooh, piece of bread. I'll take that. Some redstone, some coal, and some seeds, and some freaking lapis. Incoming creeper bottle. Oh, no. Oh, no. Waylaid! Oh. Okay. This adventure is starting off rather intensely. Wouldn't you say? Whew, man. Alright, anyway, let's torch this place up. Now, guys, what we're trying to do up in this jazz, the reason we are here is because we need to collect plankage. And the reason we need plankage is because we need to accessorize Silkworm Gang Island. We need to accessorize the Silkworm Gang village. And by that, what I mean, I want to install some bunk beds into the Silkworm Gang houses. You know, I've always wanted to build bunk beds in Minecraft because, man, when I was a kid, I freaking loved bunk beds, and I want my gang members to sleep in comfort. Currently, our gang members are sleeping on the floor. On the cold ass floor. And as most of our gang members, well, in fact, all of our gang members are currently ladies, you know, I think it's kind of rude for me as the leader of this gang to expect my ladies to be sleeping on the floor. So I want to do something about that, man. I want to make them some beds. And obviously to make beds, we need plankage and we need wool. Now, unfortunately, there are no sheep on Silkworm Gang Island. But in this abandoned mine shaft, there are a butt ton of cobwebs. So we're going to also be collecting all of the cobwebs that we can get our freaking paws on this little pillaging adventure. Because we'll be able to turn these cobwebs into wool. And then we can make a whole bunch of beds. And if we're going to be making beds in each of the houses of Silkworm Gang Village, we're going to need to make like, I don't know, 14 beds or something like that. So we're going to need like a couple stacks. Oh, there's another chest over here, sweet. We're going to need a couple stacks of silk to be able to do that, right? Or of string. Yeah, string. That's what we get from the butthole of spiders around here. Oh, but we also collected... Yes, we got melon seeds from that chest before that creeper almost blew us up. That is awesome, man. Currently, we can only grow wheat on Silkworm Gang Island, but check it out. Just picked up some melon seeds. So we're going to be able to diversify the diet of the Silkworm Gang with a bit of melons. And man, you guys know how much I love melons. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. But there's another chest over there, guys. And I'm just going to literally collect as much of this jazz as I can, right? As many fences and as many bits of plankage as I can. Dear Lord, please give us something sweet. Kaplam. Iron ingots, lapis, and coal. That'll do, man. That will do very nicely. But man, I'm actually like really excited to come on this little adventure today, guys, because there is a little story that I want to tell you that I've been thinking about for the last, I don't know, last 24 hours or so. And all of this came about last night on the drive home. And yeah, I was driving last night, and I don't know if I want to tell you guys this, but I may or may not have been driving someone back to their house after having dinner with them last night. And that person may or may not have been a lady. And we may or may not have been on a date. I'm gonna not tell you any more details. That's everything I'm telling you, man. But what I will tell you is I had an amazing night. And man, I had so much fun. And we had some really, really awesome food. And I had a really cool drive home. And I'm going to tell you all about that drive home. Now, it took me it was about an hour for me to drive home from where I dropped her off, right? And on the drive home, I caught myself doing something really weird. And I know that this sounds like it may be going into a naughty place for some of you filthy-minded cyberdogs out there, but hear me out. And there's a freaking creeper up in here. Oh no! Okay. What not to do in the face of a creeper? Throw your sword at the creeper and then let the creeper blow up your sword. Your diamond sword. Yeah. Your diamond sword. That's how not to play Minecraft, my friends. What you just witnessed right there. In fact, that may have been the noobest thing that I've ever done. Luckily, we picked up some earth from that chest, so I can make some swords. let's just pretend like that never happened. Okay, guys? Yeah? Deal? Deal. Oh, man. But anyway, guys, I was driving home last night, and there was something that I wanted to talk about with you today, inspired by an experience that I had last night in the car. And what I want to talk about with you guys today is imagination. And I want to talk about what I perceive to be the reason why imagination is so freaking important to our lives. Last night on the drive home from dropping my friend off at her house, I started doing something that I haven't done in many, many years. Something that the last time I did it, I was a kid. I was probably 14 was probably the last time that I did this. And I wanted to find out today if any of you guys out there have done anything similar to this. Because it may just be me. I may just be like extremely weird. And I kind of want to find out. But this was a little game that I used to play with myself when I was, I don't know, probably between the ages of 9 and 14. And man, I better tell this story soon. I know what some of you guys are thinking, man. I can hear you guys freaking laughing at the moment. But I used to play a little game while I was driving in the car with my mum or my dad, or if I was in any car really, where I would pretend that I was flying an F-15 fighter jet. And the way that I used to do this was I would find a spot on the windscreen, so like the splattered butthole of a bug, for example, and I would use that spot as a crosshair, right? And I would pretend that I was in an F-15 or F-16 fighter jet, and that splattered ass bug butthole was the crosshair of my Sidewinder missiles. And I used to line up that spot with incoming traffic, and then I would pretend to, like, you know, unleash a Sidewinder missile at them as they sort of came close to me. And this was a game that I used to play whenever I drove in a car with my mum or with my dad, and usually when I got really bored, right? And my brain, right, is a brain that requires much stimulation. I have an extremely hungry and demanding brain, and whenever I'm not doing anything, I don't know, I feel like uncomfortable, right? I always have to be having some sort of stimulation going up in my place, or up in my brain, should I say. Like, whether that's music, whether that's games, movies, tasting, smelling, touching. Man, I just need stimulation all the time to be, you know, content, I guess, or for my brain to be relaxed. And I guess this game that I used to play filled that gap rather nicely, because it gave me something awesome to do when I was in the car. And it gave me like a chance to create another world, right? A world where I was flying an F-15 jet. And man, that is a freaking awesome world. But you know, on the drive home last night, I caught myself playing this game once again. And I think it was probably because I was in an extremely happy mood, and I still am, as you guys can hear. But I found myself driving and using the splattered ass of a bug's butthole on my windscreen to target in on incoming traffic and pretend that I was flying in a jet. And it was sweet because I was actually driving, right? So in a way, I did kind of feel like I was in a jet. Man, I was loving it. It was awesome. Do any of you guys do this kind of stuff, by the way? Or am I just really weird? But you know, this morning... No! What? Creeper! Oh, that was close. Wow, that was close, man. The creeper got trapped by this pillar over here. Whew. My heart. We definitely would have died there, man. That would have been I don't know, close-up creeper explosion of doom, basically. Yeah, we definitely would have died. Whew, man. Damn, that was close. Yeah, give me a second to catch my breath. Stop diggity dubs. Whew. Yeah, so anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I was on the drive home, right? I was pretending to be in an F-15 fighter jet, and it got me thinking. It got me thinking about what happened to my friends and their imaginations when we went to high school. In South Africa, we go to junior school from the age of 6 to 11, and then we go to high school from the ages of 12 to 18, right? So that's how our school systems work. And I was thinking about how much my friends changed from junior school to high school, and how much their priorities changed. And it was almost like their lives changed overnight, right? When we were in junior school, like my life in particular revolved around imagination and games. I was forever creating games, doing whatever I needed to do to stimulate my brain, right? And this was obviously really good for my mates, because they got to come on along for the ride, and they got to join me in all of these worlds that I used to create when I was a kid. And the Silkworm Gang was one of these worlds that I created. And you know, this was a world where we had a fort, we had a gang, we had a purpose, we had, you know, an enemy, we had the freaking space gang who we needed to destroy, we had all the space bucks that we needed to steal. We had an entire world generated for us by our imaginations. And it got me thinking that, you know, when you are like this age, so I don't know, probably between the ages of 9 and 12, the primary thing going on in your life is your imagination. Your imagination is the sweetest thing that you have, because your imagination creates new worlds for you every single day of your life, man. It's just so awesome. Like every single day when you're young, every single day is a new adventure. And I got to thinking that, like, I remember when I went to high school, the first day that I went to high school, and even the first year I went to high school, suddenly, like, having an imagination was suddenly not cool. It wasn't the priority of everyone anymore. And maybe it's because like I didn't mature properly, I guess. And I was still like playing games and having fun and stuff. Oh, Batty, my bad! Man, Batty's gonna have to respawn. Just took my sword to the face. Second facepalm of the episode, guys. Blew up my diamond sword and now I killed Batty. Man, things are not going well. But yeah, even when I got to high school, my priorities were still imagination, man. And that's why I spent so much time like in nature, building forts and going to rivers and exploring forests and all that sort of stuff, because my priorities remained the same. My brain required stimulation, and my brain and my imagination were still really good friends. And I think that the reason that this happens for most people, that imagination kind of disappears or becomes less of a priority, is because our priorities as humans change as we grow older. And I think our priorities change mostly because of social circumstances, right? Because when you go to high school, suddenly like, childish, imaginative games are no longer like what one should be doing according to everybody else around you. Suddenly, like, social norms kick in, right? I mean, when you're 10 years old and you're living in your imagination world, social norms are irrelevant. Like, you couldn't care less what people think about you and your Silkworm gang. You couldn't care less about what people think about you practicing kung fu in the garden. But suddenly when you enter this like social environment with a whole bunch of other kids, and especially with older kids, suddenly like you have to check yourself, right? And you can't be weird, because usually things that involve imagination are weird, right? Let's face it. Usually like imaginative games are gonna be kind of strange. I mean, let's look at my case, for example. Pretending that you're flying an F-15 while you're driving a car, it's kind of weird. And to be honest with you, if there was somebody in the car, I wouldn't do it, right? The social norm part of my brain would kick in. It would be like, Rendiggity dog, you can't do that if someone's watching, man. That's not civil. That's what kids do, man. Stop it. That's basically what my brain would say. And yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's kind of sad in a way that our imaginations die as we get older. Well, I don't think they die. I think they just go into hibernation, and they just require like an outlet to come out of hibernation. And I think that most people, when you're an adult or when you're older, I guess like hobbies fill that role. Hobbies help to like bring your imagination to life again. So if, say, you collect cards or you collect games, or I don't know, even if you're a gamer, for example, or even if for example Minecraft is your hobby, this is the way that your imagination gets used when you're an adult, right? But it's still not exactly as powerful as it was when you were young. Because when you are young and your imagination is in full bloom, there is nothing in your environment that stops your imagination. Like, you have no embarrassment or sense of like, I shouldn't be doing this, or people will think that I'm weird or whatever. Like, when your imagination kicks in when you're young, oh man, it is amazing. Like, it's never going to be as amazing as it will be when you are like a kid, right? Because as soon as you're older, suddenly like it's no longer cool to have your imagination kick in. And I think there is another chest at the end of this mineshaft over here, guys. Yes, there is. Sweet. Give us something awesome. Thank you. Ooh, some gold. I'll take that, and I'll definitely take these melon seeds. Some more bread, some redstone, some lapis. I'll take all of that, man. I'll take it all. And definitely chests also. And yeah, man. That's basically what I wanted to talk about with you guys today. I don't know. I just think it's kind of interesting, like how your imagination, which is such a huge part of your life when you're young, literally just goes into hibernation like overnight. It just changes so quickly. Within a matter of a few weeks, those imaginative games that you were playing, those worlds that you pretended existed, just are like they literally just disappear from yourself. You're no longer interested in them, and you actually, in many cases, force yourself to stop going to those worlds because they're not cool, or you're worried that people will judge you. And I guess that, you know, the moral of this story is that we should all be trying as hard as we can to not stifle our imagination. If our imagination wants to take us somewhere, let it happen, man. And I know it's easier said than done, but in most cases, when you're alone, you can let your imagination go crazy, man. Because the only thing that stops our imagination going crazy is the thought of other people watching us or thinking that we're being weird, right? So if you're alone, I'm going to encourage you right now to just go cray-cray, man. If your imagination wants to do something, if your imagination wants to play a game, maybe your imagination wants to build some Lego, I don't know. Something that maybe your girlfriend or your friends might frown upon if you did it. I'm going to say bar humbug to that, my friends. Let your freaking imagination loose. Because you know what, man? It makes you feel freaking good. It makes your brain feel happy. It makes you feel young again. And that's what it's all about, man. Anyway, guys, I wish I could carry on with this episode. I'm actually having a ton of fun just chatting with you guys and mining out this mine shaft. There's been a couple of face palms so far, which I can only profusely apologize for, but unfortunately I still have pretty slow internet, guys, so I'm not going to be able to make this video much longer. I'm gonna love you and leave you right here. I'm gonna continue to mine out this mine shaft, collect at least a couple stacks of string, a few more stacks of oak wood planks, a few more stacks of fences, and then we should have everything that we need to finish off Silkworm Gang Island for Season 3. Thank you so much for watching this episode, guys. If you enjoyed it, you know what to do. You smack that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, well, you know what I'm gonna say to you, man. Subscribe or I'm gonna shove this pickaxe right between the crack of your ass. Oh man, this has been RenDog'S playing Minecraft Survival. Thank you so much for watching, guys. We will see you in the next episode. Goodbye, my friends.